Leadership can be lonely. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to briefly touch on leadership being lonely. I just did a video on which I will link it here about being on a team that resents you, whether you came on that team as a new hire, as a lateral, a vertical move, whatever the case is. Sometimes you can come on teams and it's lonely because they're resentful. And sometimes you can just be isolated, especially if you are a leader of color. You can be isolated because you are the only one doing what you do. I have talked to leaders of color who are literally the only one doing what they do in the entire state. And there's no outlet, there's no one to talk to. The mere fact that I received a comment on this channel that was a catalyst for me creating a video tells you a lot. Why? Because it means that there are conversations that are not being had for and with leaders of color about being a leader of color and what we have to deal with. Now, is this channel just for leaders of color? No, I am addressing leadership from a broader lens, but I would be remiss if I did not address the elephant in the room, that when you are a leader of color, the hoops that you have to jump through, the things that you have to do is on a completely different level. And especially now, because as I've said, the stakes are already high for leaders as we are in the 21st century, as things are rapidly changing. You have AI, you have so many demands. The world is crazy, right? There's so many things going on. And add on top of that, the fundamental challenges, the stressors that are in place for leaders of color. And that's why I wanted to take a minute to have this conversation with you on this video about it being lonely. Like, yes, it's lonely. As I said, you may be the only one in your state or in, sometimes your field who is black or brown, right? And that can be challenging because sometimes you want to have conversations. You want to talk to people who get it. And sometimes friends and family don't get it because maybe they're not in leadership positions. Or maybe they are older and they're just in a different mindset about things. There's lots of different factors at play, but it is so important to be able to lean in with peers who get it, where you don't have to wear a mask, because that's something else that as a leader of color, you often have to do is walk around with a mask on, right? Not a literal mask. You know what I'm saying. You know what time it is. Just to survive, the code switching. Or when I was coming up, just as a quick example to bring y'all back, was when I was a kid, I always knew when it was something professional or someone professional on the phone, the doctor's office or, some other type of business, because the way my mom would talk on the phone was different. It's very different than the way she would talk to friends or family on the phone. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We called it using the white voice, right? Oh, mom's got her white voice on. And this is a part of wearing that mask. It's a part of the survival. And does it look a little different now? Yeah, but things haven't changed. So when you are having to do that all of the time, when do you get a chance just to sit back and be yourself, where you are acknowledged and respected for what you bring to the table, color and background aside, where you don't have that micro lens down on you all of the time, where it's not explicit, but it's implied, right? It's implied that we're watching you. One false move, right? I just mentioned in a previous video about documentation, why that is so important, especially as a leader of color, documenting, because you never know. Whether it's 1996 or 2026, you never know. So you always have to document. And these are some of the things, again, that you have to deal with. That if you are a leader that is not of color, if you're a white leader, you don't understand any of that. You don't have those extra layers, extra pressure built in from the start just because of who you are. And that now you are meant to represent the collective and you didn't ask for that, right? So these things, as I said, are lonely. Do you have a space that you can have these conversations with? When is the last time you were able to sit with a group of peers that were high level like you and say, hey, you know what? This is what's going on in my business. This is what's going on in the organization. Man, I just had this meeting with the board and this and this. And, oh, somebody said this to me and I was just like, I can't believe, things like, where do you have a space where you can just take off the mask and be as a leader with people who are in the same place as you, right? Where they're doing big things, where they get it, where you don't even have to explain it. They just know. And where you can tap in to that wisdom, to that knowledge as a collective and mastermind that together on moving forward. Those strategic level conversations as a leader of color. Where are you having that? I know where we're having it, inside the flavor room. Yes, the flavor room. I don't want this video to be too long, but for those of you who are watching this, I want you to be aware of the flavor room. The flavor room, I am the founder of it. And this is a space that I have created with my co-founder that is invite only. And it is for leaders and founders of color who are building at a higher standard. It is an ecosystem where it's not transactional, where you pay and it's just like, oh, well, you paid, so you get a couple of dusty videos. No. We're not doing that over here. Okay. We've created a place where you can get what you put in. So it's not fully transactional. Okay. It is a space where we are sharing ideas, where we are having these high level conversations, where you can tap into a group of peers who get it, where you can have opportunities to work on your public speaking if you need to, have opportunities for visibility for your business if you need to. Right? A place where you no longer have to say, you know what, I'm begging for a seat at a table that was never even built for me. No, we did away with all of that. Okay. We're not doing that over here. It is a table for us to come together, to make big moves, to lift each other up, but challenge each other at the same time. That we're all on this path to our greatness and doing that together as a collective. Look, let's be honest here. Okay. We know that those of certain demographics, they put each other on. They put each other on the books, the podcasts. They are making sure that they scratch each other's backs. Are we doing that for us? Are we scratching our own backs? Are we helping each other? Are we saying, you know what? I got this podcast. I have such and such. I have this event. There's this position opening up with my company. Da, 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 da. Are we helping each other out in that way? This is what the flavor room is about. And that's why we've positioned it as an ecosystem. So if you are looking to tap into a space like that to elevate your leadership with those who are building at a higher standard with standards, check the link in the description box. Book a flavor fit call with myself and my co-founder, and let's sit down and see if the flavor room is a right fit for you and if it's a right fit for the flavor room. Okay, let's talk about where you are at in your career, in your business, and if the flavor room is going to help you elevate and get to that next level that you're trying to get to in a space that is designed to challenge you and help you grow. If you're serious about your leadership and serious about being around peers who understand, if you are serious, look, you can't build in a vacuum. You can't build in isolation. And honestly, there's no reason for you to. There's no reason for you to do that because that's what the flavor room is for. The flavor room bridges that gap, it closes that gap for founders and leaders of color. So if you're serious, go to that link in the description box, book a call. It's not a sales call, okay? We're invite only. Let's have a conversation and see if this is going to work for not only the flavor room, but for you. We would love to have that conversation with you. Until next time, peace.